My dear students, today we are going to learn about the chapter number 6, that is natural calamities. In this chapter, we are going to learn the definition of natural calamities, types of natural calamities, effects of it, and we will suggest some precautions to take during the natural disasters or calamities. Now, what do you mean by natural calamities? An event that occurs naturally and is not in control of humans is known as natural calamities. It is a sudden change in the surroundings which causes damage to human beings and their property. So that kind of events which can hamper our daily life, it is known as the natural calamities. So what are the examples of natural calamities or the types? They are earthquake, floods, drought, cyclones, lightning, landslides, and even tsunami is also natural calamity. This chapter we are going to learn about flood, drought, earthquake and about tsunami. Natural calamities can also be called as natural disaster because all natural calamities affect our environment and it causes great damage or loss of life. Now, let me tell you about flood. Flood occur due to heavy rainfall for a long period of time. When it rains, the river overflow and submerge the surrounding area. Water collects in roads, houses, farms and damage the property. So floods can destroy life and property and lead to unemployment in the area. That means people become jobless. Let us learn about the main causes of flood. Overflowing rivers can lead to the flood. Deforestation by human beings for their need and greed is also the cause. And when the water level is higher than the danger mark and a leak develops in the dam, then the dam cannot hold the water anymore. Then it also leads to flood. Due to the global warming, the ice is melting at a faster rate and it can also lead to the flood. Let us learn about the effects of flood. Lot of damage to the life, property and to the crops. Poverty as people become homeless and also jobless. Loss of drinking water sources. Waterlogging and severe water contamination. And severe water contamination leads to many diseases like malaria, dengue and cholera, etc. Precautions should be taken during the flood. Keep listening to the radio for updated information. If flood water has entered your house, switch off the electricity meter. Keep flashlights, candles and matchboxes handy. Store adequate amount of dry food items, medicines and clean drinking water. If there is food in your area, move to a safe place but never swim or drive during floods. Sometimes when the flood situation is out of control and people are finding it difficult to get out of the flooded area, then the army is called for rescue operations. Do you know? In 1931 in China, more than 40 lakh people died due to the flood. That was one of the most devastating flood in our history. We can control floods by planting more trees, not allowing construction of houses near riverbanks, construction of dams in the areas where the current of the river is strong. It should be well maintained. But there is only one positive side here. That is, for farmers, floods make the soil more fertile and increase the agricultural production. So what exactly happened? During flood, it supplies sediment and nutrients that nourish and enrich the soil and contribute to plant growth in areas of overflow. And thus they can increase the fertility of the soil. And what happens when there is no rainfall? then it also leads to another kind of natural calamity or disaster that is known as the drought. Drought occurs when there is a very little rainfall or no rainfall. During the drought, the wells, rivers, ponds, and the other water resources dried, and there is no water to plow the fields and to drink. There is shortage of food grains and water during the drought. So, when a particular area does not receive rainfall for a long period of time, leading to scarcity of water, the area is affected by drought. The causes of drought. Location. If the area located too far away from natural sources of water like rivers or the sea, the monsoon winds get weak by the time they reach that particular area, due to which there is no or little rainfall. Like in India, some areas of Rajasthan, Bihar and Madhya Pradesh, they are far away from the natural water resources. That's why those areas tend to receive little or no rainfall. One of the major cause is also deforestation, that means the cutting of trees, which leads to scarcity of rainfall in that particular area. The effects of drought are threatening as all the ponds, lakes and rivers dry up and there is no drinking water for animals or for human beings. That means all water bodies dry up, the crops die and there is little or no fodder for the cattle, due to which they start to starve and then they eventually die. It is not possible to grow new crops as the soil becomes dry, so the farmers are the worst hit at the time of drought and they start to starve. The whole nation also suffer as there is lack of vegetables and fruit supply as we can't grow any new crop, and that's why also the price of the commodities increase. But there is always a way. We can control drought by planting more trees or by afforestation. Planting more trees is known as the afforestation process, exactly opposite to the deforestation process. This will bring in more rainfall. We must encourage water harvesting, which will increase the level of groundwater that can be used for irrigation of fields. Irrigation means the artificial application of water to the land to assist in production of crops during the dry seasons. This is all for today, students. So read the topics that we have discussed today. I will mention your homework at the end of the PDF that I will provide. Thank you, students.